All right, for today's video review, we're going to be taking a look at Transformers Power of the Primes Legends Class Tailgate. A very cool little figure here. Definitely my current favorite version of Tailgate. Not that there's like a whole lot of competition there, but yeah, no, he's fun. I like his car mode generally. There's definitely like a bit of mismatching here between like the tone of the white plastic and then the white painted sections. It honestly looks a little bit worse on camera than it does in person. Like it's not too hard to notice, but there is just like an ever slightly more like brightness to the like painted sections there, which doesn't quite come across in the plastic. But honestly, it doesn't really bug me all that much. Now, of course, because he is a Power of the Primes Legends class figure, these guys and also the Titans Return Legends classes basically had the same gimmick here, where you could actually fit a Titan Master or Prime Master inside the alt mode. And for the, in the case of him, you wouldn't open the door, but you actually take this entire section here and you unfold it, which is, not the cleanest thing, but then you can sit down a Titan Master in the little gap here, though honestly they're kind of, oh, that's right, with him you gotta make the arms fold forward too, just because there's not quite the clearance for them to sit in there with the arms down to the side, and then you can close that back up, and you can, I mean, the windows are tinted, they are clear plastic, but you can't really see them in there, so I don't know if it's really worth it, but it doesn't really mess with the figure a whole lot either, so it doesn't really bother me. But yeah, that is a gimmick. Obviously not perfectly to scale there, since you have to open up the entire car just to get one guy inside, but it rolls fairly nicely in terms of comparisons in this mode. Here he is with Sideswipe. Obviously does not scale super well, which is, kind of funny actually, because if we bring on like Cliff Jumper here, for example, like if you look at the two of them together, like he's not that much smaller than Cliff Jumper, but Cliff Jumper was already a bit too small to scale with him, so then he's just like really pushing it that extra bit further. I do hope we get a new deluxe version of Tailgate at some point. I'm assuming that we'll be getting a new wind charger relatively soon, since they've been going through most of the other G1 Minibot molds, and with a new wind charger eventually will come a new Tailgate as well. This mold also was used for wind charger. I cannot for the life of me remember which one of them came first. I've never had the wind charger version. I just liked my revealed the shield one. I didn't really feel like replacing it when this guy came out. But yeah, no, I like this mold a lot better as Tailgate. But yeah, to get on to one more comparison before transformation is here he is with the Thrilling 30 Tailgate. I like him a lot better. I also do have G1 Tailgate, but I left him downstairs and I did not feel like going all the way back down there to get him, but that's what he looks like with him. But yeah, to get onto transformation, you will just kind of unfold the section like we did to put the Titan Master in, and then you can split the legs here and take these little window sections, and they'll actually fold up like this, and then this little clear plastic tab will just fold over this piece here, or sorry, over this piece here on the back there like that. So the entire windshield kind of folds up and sort of fills in his legs a little bit. Then you can take the front end here and just kind of loosen it up so you've got the clearance to untab the arms and double hinge them down to the side. Then once you've got that all loosened up, you can take this entire section and that will double hinge down like that. And then you can take this whole section and that will double hinge down, and then this tab here will go into the back of the waist piece there. And there we have Tailgate in his robot mode. And yeah, I like his robot mode a lot. It's definitely got, kind of more of that like toy aesthetic than the like comic aesthetic that the Thrilling 30 version was going for, but overall just looks a lot more kind of filled out. I love the tone of the teal there. It's got the nice, I guess they're just tampo detailed. They're annoyingly asymmetrical on mine. Like this one's a little bit like off. It's like a little bit too high, but whatever. In terms of articulation, the head is on a swivel. I'm not entirely sure why he has this like back panel like that, because like, his entire head hides way underneath there, so it certainly doesn't need to have that as part of the transformation. I guess you could turn his head around so that, it's, covered up in alt mode, but it could have just been more of a complete head, and that would have looked a little bit better, honestly, but not the end of the world. The shoulders here have a couple joints. They have a ball joint at the shoulder itself, so you can like rotate it around and bend it out to the side about that far, which works pretty well, but he also does have that separate transformation joint, which helps it go up and down a little bit too, so you can get, you can kind of use those in tandem or one or the other. It's kind of nice to be able to like readjust his shoulder position a little bit. The elbows are on ball joints, which gives him a bicep swivel, and then also about 90 degrees of bend at the elbow there. This one has gotten pretty loose. While they both have, I've tightened up these joints a couple times over the years, but this one's kind of loosened up over time again, unfortunately. Nothing at the waist, just because the whole hood of the car pegs in there. Hips are on ball joints, which go forward and back and out to the side. He doesn't have a thigh swivel proper, unfortunately. He just has the range that the ball joint at the hip gives him, which honestly is kind of enough, but it is worth mentioning that he doesn't actually have a proper like cut there or anything. And then the knees can fold about 90 degrees, and then he doesn't really have any proper feet. His just these sections of the car are just sculpted in an A stance, so he can stand like that, which for him works. I feel like it didn't really work all that well for Windcharger, but I always feel like Tailgate is like a stumpier little guy, so I feel like this works a little bit better for him than it would for Windcharger. But yeah, in terms of comparisons in this mode, for some standard ones, here he is with an average size deluxe, average size core class. You can see pretty much the same height as Rat Trap there, and then also the little Prime Master or Titan Master just for that. And then here he is again with Cliff Jumper just for posterity's sake, and here he is again with Thrilling 30 Tailgate. And you can see I really like this guy's robot a lot better. I just feel like the details kind of pop a lot more nicely, like the fact that his head has got the painted white detail and then the painted silver mouth plate, whereas this guy just gets a little bit washed out. Also, his head is a little bit too small. Again, just the detail on this guy really pops a lot more than on this guy, just in terms of the shade of the white plastic that they use. This guy looks like the kind of cheap detail eating kind of plastic, and this guy, at least you can kind of tell what's going on. But yeah, obviously they're going for different aesthetics, more of a G1 aesthetic, more of a comic aesthetic, but just in terms of an overall aesthetic of the toy, I think this guy just is a bit more successful. But that's just my opinion. But yeah, that's pretty much all there is to him. A fun little figure, nothing really to write home about, but he's decent, he's fun. I do hope we get a new Windcharger / Tailgate soon, but for now he fits totally well on my shelf there with my other season 3 mini bots. But yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it. If you enjoy my videos, make sure to leave a like and consider subscribing to the channel. I do reviews every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And without further ado, here we have Transformers Power of the Primes Tailgate.